And obviously, if you have any questions about Mulaka, feel free to ask. So this will be the Mulaka tutorial for the 80% run. The first thing you want to do is load up a save file. I guess the very first thing you want to do is to make that file. I always keep it in Profile 1. Basically, keep your first playthrough save file here, because to get yourself ready to do runs, you actually need to clear the boss rush at the end of the game. So, this is my first playthrough save file with all of the things on it. And I'm actually just going to go straight into the underworld at the very end of the game and kill some bosses. By doing it here, I don't know exactly what the technical aspect behind it is, but by clearing the boss rush here, it makes the entire game, the program, I guess you could say, think that the boss rush has been cleared for every save file. So when you do runs on Profile 2 or Profile 3, or of course you can do it on... okay, this is silly of me. We'll come back to this later. What I just did there will make sense in, about an hour, or however long it takes to get here again. But, as I was saying, you can, of course, do runs on Profile 1 and have your boss rush save on Profile 2 or Profile 3. Yeah, actually, the last time I went through here, I cleared the entire game, so I used all of my potions. Well, not all of them, but most of them. So I'll pick some of these very convenient plants that are growing in hell. Yeah, and there's actually a skip you can do off of this rock here. I've never been terribly consistent at it. I have a tendency to be able to get it in practice and not in runs, so, it would happen as you're... Oh, these have grown back. How nice. I don't need too many potions, really. Maybe just a few bombs and a few heals. Yeah, whatever. Coming up along here, you wanna, jump over there. Yeah, see. Oh, that was almost it. The idea is you jump off the top of the rocks and fly up to... I'm gonna take another hit. And fly up to the platform up above. It's only a time save if you get it right away. Yeah, that was close, but no cigar. So we'll just go the ordinary way. Okay. Now, if you want to see that skip, the world record holder, Pedrogas, is very consistent at it, so just pull up basically any of his runs. And get here. This will look quite familiar to anyone who's played the game casually. That iframe, that grab, I tried to iframe it. Maybe you can't iframe that one, because I've never been able to, despite trying repeatedly. Nope, missed it again. That grab is kinda trollish. And we'll certainly get into this later on, but the, you might think the bear transformation has the best damage. It does not. The puma has the best damage. The bear does have a wider hitbox, though. Alright. See I never even noticed this until I saw somebody else talking about the boss rush. Those lights in the background, though, those triangles, they light up when phases of the boss rush are cleared, and when you go into another save file, they're still cleared. I guess I can just do this in his face. Yeah, that's something I should point out. When the Mantis General does his clone attack, there's several ways to determine which one is the real Mantis General. Jumping is the simplest one, because the real Mantis General will jump with you, the clones won't. You can also bring up Sukuruame Vision. But what was that? That requires magic power, of course. He's not staying down for very long, is he? There we go. Yeah, if you've not gotten the trophy/achievement for completing the game losing 8 or fewer souls, learning the speedrun is obviously a pretty easy way to do that, because it minimizes combat quite a bit, and I guess that's really it. It just minimizes combat quite a bit. Very few opportunities to even lose souls. Oh. Kind of forgot you were there. That's okay. I don't mind sucking at the boss rush, because we never do the boss rush in runs. It's not that big a deal. Two more fights. Got these, I may as well use them. Wow, that was cool. That killed everybody at once. Well, I think you have to hit the weak point head on. You never fight these things in the run, so I don't mind not knowing that. Now, this guy, I thought was a carbon copy of the version of this fight you do in the bulk of the game. I have reason to believe at this point that that is not actually the case. And I will get into that, I don't know, maybe here, maybe later. $333 is correct. Now, after the next damage cycle, he should have 160. If he does the attack we need him to do. And actually staying by his back right foot should make it more likely he does that attack. It's never guaranteed. Yeah, 170. That's so weird. So this will take 4 cycles. The fight in the bulk of the game, as I was calling it, you can actually do in 3. I'll do this for funsies. Now all 5 lights are lit. The game does grow eerily quiet at this point, doesn't it? And if you were to continue on to the next ring of stones, you would of course have yon final boss, but we're not ready for him just yet. Alright. So now that you've cleared the boss rush, go to whichever other profile, it doesn't matter. I always just use 2. And time starts when you hit start. It doesn't start at first input or first cutscene or anything like that. So just be alert with your cutscene skips. When you have the narrator speaking the Tarahumara language, that's always B to skip. A loading screen is A to skip. Anything in-game is always B. So, like the sequence at the very beginning there is always B-A-B to skip. We have our first Ring of Stones fight here. We are not going to do it. This is a rather ingenious skip. Run to the end of the arena, say here, pull up the map, and warp to the area you're already in. And your checkpoint is after the fight. It's just that simple. And continue on forward. You can go around here however you want. You can go here, but it might be a little bit faster, and it's certainly possible to just do that. And here you're probably thinking, oh, I'm going to hit this, and then knock those rocks down over there. No, just do that. It's much faster. We have the stone gate up the hill from here. If you've played the game casually, you know you have to explore the area and collect the stones to fit into the hollows on that gate there. Each level has one of those except the last 2. We won't even see most of them, and we won't go through any of them the way we're supposed to. Here's the skip for this one. You run up this little flat part of the thing there, and just jump as you run up. It's tricky. I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's tricky. I still mess it up pretty frequently. Run up the flat thing here and jump. See, that was a genuine mistake. That wasn't me turning back to show it again. Run up the flat part and jump. Jump a moment after you run up. You kind of have to get the feel for it. This will take some practice to get right, for sure. Run up and jump. And you have to be on, this part of the rock right here, this part, for it to work. Run up there and just wait a beat and jump. Run up and jump. That gets you here. And you may think that this Ring of Stones, oh, that's a forced fight. We have to fight there. We don't. Just run around it. Run to the left. Even though it looks like you're inside the Ring of Stones a little bit, you're really not. And you can just run past it. Take this pathing here to minimize hard landings and just run straight onto the boss. It's really that simple. A good time for Samalayuka, the first level, is under 3 minutes. I think where Reki gets a 246, and my gold split is a 254. Yeah, oh. And in the beginning phases of this fight, toss your spear at the scorpion's legs. Did I say sphere? Spear at the scorpion's legs. It's less about damaging him and more just about building up your special meter. You want your special meter to get full as fast as possible. Although, 6 of one, half a dozen the other, it will also damage him. That's not great when the leg is buried like that. The leg sheath. You ideally want to take out 2 leg sheaths each time he hits a pillar. If you don't, it's probably fine. Just get as much as you can. And don't pick any aloe here. Don't pick any heal potions. Chiefly because there's no need to. This is something you don't want him to do. It's slower than simply running. But obviously after the 4th one, his shell cracks, his soft mushy eye is exposed, and as soon as you have a finisher, hit it. And it should kill him. And it did. Now, because we never paused throughout the level, and this is true for every level when you warp from one to the next, because we never brought up the pause menu, during the course of the level, by bringing it up immediately after the boss is dead, we can warp straight to the next level. If we hadn't done that, we would have to wait for the game to bring this screen up on its own and wait for this warp point to like spawn in. So do not pause during the course of the level. That is very important. Head on to Pakime. We have a very important glitch coming up. Jump down here. Now, what you want to do is run into this area, but jump over the wall. There's two ways to do it. The first one is to jump off of this tree, and you can end up there. The second, that one's probably easier. The second and harder way is to run up this tree and jump. And let me kill this gentleman so I can talk in peace. You probably know, if you've played the game casually, that our next port of call is the bomb potion. The way to get there, you can do a really fancy pathing, and I'll try to show it. Jump up to here, and then to here. Yeah, that's pretty much it exactly. And then jump off of that, and here you are. That's actually pretty perfect. I would take that in a run 10 times out of 10. If you don't feel confident in doing that fancy a pathing, you sure don't have to. You can just, you're here, just run through here, and don't run up the stairs, though. Just jump there. As long as you're running, you got a head of steam behind you, you'll be able to jump this high and get up here. You want to run and jump off of that. You can see from a standing start, I can't jump high enough to jump off of that, but from a running start, you absolutely can. Yeah, from there, and you jump, and you're there. You just jump off of it in midair, it redirects you, and of course, come down here to meet the upgrade lady. We don't get any of her upgrades in the speedrun. Now, this is important. Pick only one Chia. I mean, you can pick more if you want, but it's slower, obviously. Because we can dupe bombs. The way you dupe bombs, hit right on the D-pad to bring up your reticle, and then select a potion you've either never discovered or don't have, and, spoiler alert, we will never discover the shield potion, so that's a good muscle memory to get in. After pressing right, press left, and he's gonna make like a sound. That's what he does when you select a potion you can't use. But now, by doing that after selecting the bomb potion, the game thinks you're using that potion when you throw the bomb. So you can see, I threw a bomb, but I still have a bomb. And you can do this infinitely. You have as many bombs as you can ever want. Typically in runs, I do pick a safety bomb just in case I screw up a dupe. But it's completely to your discretion. Next stone gate is right here. This one's even simpler to bypass. Before I mess it up several times. You just jump, you land there. Actually, that was good for demonstration purposes, because that's where you want to land. A little bit forward from there, of course. Yeah, like right there. And if you have this happen, I stopped doing it for some reason, but if you have that happen, just mash jump, and you'll get over. You can also... I'm not sure. I was going to say you can also attack to reset your positioning to jump again. I know that works once you have the bird transformation. I'm actually not sure it works here. But yeah, just mash jump and you're over. And again with the Ring of Stones fight, just run around it. You don't have to go in. And you can just dupe bombs to get through these breakable walls. For a while in runs, we were writing that to get over when we didn't have bombs to spare, but we have all the bombs we could ever want now, so just blow it up and run through. Now we have the Mantis General. First thing you want to do is run at him and push him to the edge of the arena. This will keep him further away from the ads he spawns. And throw tons of duped bombs in his face. And it is actually quite okay to lose a soul in this fight, because it gets you a free heal potion. I'm not worried at all about losing that soul. Losing 2 is a little less ideal, but still not really a problem. Just keep chucking bombs at him. And when you have the finisher, you do want to use it. You may wish to group ads around when you use it, or you may not, because he's probably dead. And you can pick anything you want. You can pick Chia for heals. I would typically only use heals against the final boss if necessary. You can pick heals. You can pick, Chia for safety bomb. And there's the idol that will, spawn the cutscene for the demigod. Since we didn't pause during the game, as soon as it says game saved on the bottom of the screen, bring up your map, and you can go to the next level. You can do that on all versions of the game. The timing for it is by far the most lenient on PC. It is possible on Switch and PS4. I guess I don't know about Xbox One. I'm so used to just running here. But the screen will start to go dark, and the cutscene will start to spawn in immediately when you start to do it. So the timing is not very lenient on console. On PC, you have all day to do it. Alright, so Reso Rikubi. Just run forward here. There's some kind of cool pathing you can do here. The game expects you to come over here and run over here and jump into this wind. But there's a better option. So yeah, you're here, and you want to, jump on these rocks. I'm actually not even very good at this. That was quite bad, in fact. Let me see if I can do it right. I jumped again before I landed. Wow! This is not going correctly. This is a small time save, and it's easier than I'm making it look. This is more or less what it's supposed to look like, yeah. And then you can join up with the wind there and end up here. It's a small time save, but it's, like I say, easier than I was making it look. We have a small time save coming up here that is really difficult. So the game expects you to run up the hill, talk to a guy, put on Tsukuruhame vision. I don't even know what you're seeing that makes the mural on the cave entrance fade away and you can enter. It's possible to simply clip in. Fly there. Yeah, it's right there. It's that point. There, that's it. And I mean, I'm the one making a tutorial, but I don't really know how it works. You just kind of fly at that point and hope for the best. You fly at it and unfly. You demorph from the bird at that point. Okay, I need to slow down here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Major skip here. So you don't even run forward into the bulk of this level. Don't worry about it. You'll never see it. Run up here. While you're running, double jump. Get to be the bird. And you land here. Obviously you want to do this in one fluid motion. But from here, jump and fly for safety. You actually don't have to fly at all. It's ridiculous. Pedrogas does this without flying. You can land here and then jump there and you're here. This alone is a pretty substantial skip, but it gets even goofier. Get onto the snake head, and the way I do this is I run up, and as I run over the snake's nose, so to speak, double jump. That gets you enough height to land here. It's very possible if you don't quite time your jump off the snake head right, like say if you just try it from here, this will never work. You see, you're not high enough. That's why you have to get high. You have to get high. Chi grip. Yeah, just double jump at the apex of your jump and you'll probably be okay, except I wasn't that time. This used to give me fits. It's not so bad for me anymore. Once you're there, go to here. You might also have to land here if you are like running low on mana or you don't jump high enough in the first place. But either way, get here, and once you're here, double jump. You always gain a little altitude when you morph into the bird, so... And now we're up here, way the heck out of bounds, although there are Easter eggs up here. If you don't know who that is Iki, the protagonist of Lienzo, the developer's previous game, Hunter's Legacy. I've played it. I don't like it as much as Mulaka, but I'm sure it has its audience. So this is the path you want to take. You're just headed straight to the boss at this point. You see all this down there? You don't even have to worry about any of it. I actually asked the developers once if they expected the player to go out of bounds, since this area and lots of other out-of-bounds areas, not quite all of them, but lots of them, have collision. So, did they think we were going to come up here? They said yes. I'm not sure they really meant that, but maybe they did. And there's no trick to this here. Just by standing there, you'll drop down and clip back in bounds. Now, you're probably used to coming to this rock mouth and, meleeing it a bunch. Instead, dupe a bomb. Bring up the reticle. You hear that? You're set up. Throw the bomb. That instantly gets the boss completely aggroed. If you just swing your staff at him, it takes 2 steps for him to, initiate the fight. This, no joke, is the hardest part of this fight, climbing back to the top of the cave. And I messed it up. And I think I was supposed to go this way. I was indeed. So, and in this fight, dupe bombs. I believe you're expected to throw your spear at these mouths, but you see, throwing a bomb took out 3 mouths. You'll only ever get 1 throwing your spear, and even if you don't aim quite right, or you'll aim right and get all 3 again, I was trying to only get 2. Dupe 3 bombs at the rock mouth on the bottom of the cave, and then throw your spear on it. That's all the damage you can possibly do. If you don't throw your spear, you will get teleported to the bottom of the cave, which is no bueno, because then you have to climb back up again with the boss super aggroed. This is the phase where there's 6 mouths on each side. That's something you do not want to do. That's a really silly mistake on my part. I'm actually going to restart the entire fight. I think you're expected to hit that, and it provides a little updraft for you to morph into the bird and get back to the top of the cave. And I think you're expected to take out the mouths on your way up. But that's incredibly slow. I think this is going to put me right back at the boss. If it doesn't, I'll just do the level at full speed. Okay, it didn't. All right. Let's do the whole level again. That's how that's supposed to look. Nice. Got the cave clip again. And the cave clip saves about 10 seconds. It's helpful, but not make or break. Certainly not, at least for a new runner. So that's just how fast it can go. The pre-boss portion of this level, that was actually quite fast indeed. I would take that in a run, for sure. You just keep running and You don't even have to jump. Just, if you're on the right spot, just fall through. Yeah. And I'll show you what I mean, I guess, about, if you hit him with your staff, it does this first. And, it's not aggroed yet. And then you can keep hitting it with your staff, or just use a bomb, right off the bat, and it goes straight into, yes, I'm actually aggroed. This is definitely the most punishing boss fight, because if those hands ever grab you, you automatically lose one soul. Yeah, there's an example of a bomb taking out 2 mouths. But the spear will only... I keep calling it a staff. Spear, staff, whatever. I guess it is technically a spear. That's what the game itself calls it. We'll obviously only ever take out 1. So, shoot for all 3 with the bomb, but even if you only get 1... Oh, didn't I have a safety bomb? But I used it, apparently. I got 3... Miss. Oh, and you can walk on top of the boss here. Probably don't really want to, at least not right away. But it's a decent option for advanced pathing, and that's just how fast the fight can be. You can pick some more plants here if you want before the demigod statue spawns in. Yeah. Maybe get your safety bomb back if you accidentally threw one. And again, because we didn't pause during the course of the level, we can just do this and go to the next one. Yeah, pausing should be anathema to a speedrun anyway, but it definitely is here. So this is the level where we would ordinarily pick up the shield potion in a casual playthrough of the game. But we don't have to do anything in this level except that. Maybe I should show that again. I can actually, I believe, do it in reverse. Or maybe not. You just want to basically fly through the gap between the stone gate. Okay, I have to warp away and warp back. That's fine. Hello, Pucky May. Goodbye, Pucky May. There's tons of stuff to do in this level, and you never do any of it. Just run. Get a head of steam behind you. Double jump so you're the bird. Attack here. You can jump again and fly through. You can do it without attacking, but with the attack, it makes it really consistent. And then just fly over. It's really that simple. Alright, and we have Froggo. It's always good when he starts the fight by sucking in water. He won't always start with suck, but 95% of the time he will. You can iframe the waves when he does his stomp. Don't want him to shake, but he'll never go the entire fight without shaking. Oh, yeah, it's always good when he does suck when the fish skeletons are out. If you can, okay, I'm gonna pause so we can't do our fast warp after the level because I need to explain this. It's always good when you can simply push the fish skeleton into his mouth when he does the suck thing there. But this is the first cycle-based boss in the game. There are 3. Yeah, there are 3. There's limits on how much damage you can do to the boss on each cycle. It's really weird. So the damage for this boss, the large stone boss, the singular stone boss, and the final boss are highly scripted. The best we can do against the frog is 5 cycles. On the first, 3rd, and 5th cycles, you want to do a 3-hit, or no, it's a 4-hit, well, a light combo. When the combo ends. I believe it is 4 hits. But a light combo, and then a 3-hit heavy combo, and then dupe a bomb, all obviously onto his tongue. For the 2nd and 4th cycles, simply do the bear transformation. He's vulnerable, light combo, heavy combo, And a duped bomb. 615. He starts with 800 HP. There is no way to have him lower than 615 at the end of this cycle, no matter what you do. He's being a jumpy little boy right now. Jumpy big boy. See, there. The fish skeleton was close enough to his mouth that I didn't have to do the bear transformation to, like, push it in when he sucks in the water and the air is flowing into his mouth and all that. So he simply gobbled it up and went straight down, and obviously that's much faster. Do that as much as you can. Sometimes it's not entirely feasible. It's another thing that Pedrogas is absolutely godlike at. I'm okay at it. Tumbles down, second cycle, just do a bear. Because it does the damage, he will never be lower than 495 after the second cycle. So you could do the damage you'd done on the first cycle, but all it would do is waste time. You can pick plants if you really want to here. You should not have to. So third cycle, we have our scripted damage. You can also dupe bombs against the ads. I can help you dispatch them faster. Don't worry about a finisher in this fight. You'll never use one. Had to use the bear transformation there to push the fish skeleton into his mouth, but it's okay. Just wait until mana fills up again and do a bear for the fourth cycle. And he's down to 172. It is actually possible to have him slightly lower after 4 cycles, but not to the point where 4 cycles could have finished the fight. Is that even going to work? It did. Okay. Yeah, this absolutely should kill him. Yep, and it did. Now, if we had not paused over the course of the level, we could simply pull up the map here and go to our next destination. This is a good example of why you don't want to pause during the level, because we only have the levels we've already beaten on our map right now. So instead, we have to go back to the game, wait for all of this. We're still waiting. We're still waiting. Now the map comes up. But the map marker still has to spawn in, and only at this point can we warp to the next level. So don't pause during the level. I have no idea why it works that way, but it definitely does work that way. Alright. Just head straight forward. As you should know, the red lines mean it's breakable with the bear transformation. D-boost through that, guys. Just a tiny little D-boost. You only need 1 rage potion. Just pick 1 corn. Continue forward. Now here's an optimization I've not yet worked into my own runs. See the save point there? Forget about it. Don't even go there. Just keep running. Run up on the slope here, and you can simply jump over these rocks. You can fly over them, or you can blow them up, or you can knock them down as the bear, but it's fastest to simply jump. Got a Ring of Stones, quote-unquote, forced fight here. Just stay left, and you'll avoid it. If you try to go right there, you will be forced into the fight. Jump down. You have your Scorpion mini-boss. Pop your 1 rage potion. Throw your spear at him. That hit the little scorpion. That also hit a little scorpion. That also hit a little scorpion. This is not going the way it's supposed to. Okay, we're gonna do this again. Throwing the spear at the large scorpion should automatically stagger him. Alright. Take 2. And I probably have to pick 4 corn now. Yeah, I do. Yeah, just have 1 rage potion. Ordinarily, just like the other potions, when it's the first one, you only have to pick 1, and it gives you a potion. Yeah, don't even worry about that save point. And actually, you might be wondering why you would even think about using the save point. We thought you had to take it to be able to spawn there after this fight, but it turns out you don't. Okay, it has to hit his eye. This is not as hard as I'm making it look. This is not nearly as hard as I'm making it look. Frickin' there, jeepers. Go in there, mess him up. Do a bear transformation when he stands up, and it should stagger him again. And then, if everything goes the way it's supposed to, you'll end the fight before the rage buff even wears off. But that's the idea behind it, at least. And like I say, it's not nearly as hard as I just made it look. Demigod statue. Right here, once game save pops up, select Huarache again on the map, and you'll magically spawn at the save point. Alright. Kill these two gentlemen. Ordinarily, I wouldn't bother, but just to have peace and quiet. We've just unlocked the Puma transformation, which you know if you've played the game casually. It has the power to jump between yellow flowers and such, and it also does a lot of damage in combat. It also can clip through invisible walls. So this clip is a little tricky. This is the way I've found to do it that's the easiest. You run up here between these two trees, jump, and I hit jump and Puma. A and B on the Xbox One controller. That's, what is that? X and circle on the PlayStation 4 controller. And now you're here. This is out of bounds. You know, you can't even go back unless you do the trick in reverse. Something like that. But yeah, just after the fight with the Scorpion, you spawn here. Don't even worry about the mantises behind you. Just run up here. Or was it here? Either one. Just go between two of these trees is a good visual indicator. Jump, bird, and then instantly thereafter Puma, and you're here. Run up the hill. Say hello to a member of the development team. Obviously, you wouldn't come this far out of your way in runs. Now, Pedrogas does something interesting here. He comes back in bounds here-ish. Why did it say game saved? I've not noticed that before. Yeah, he comes back in bounds there, and the fight spawns immediately. I'm more used to doing it a little bit further downstream, just because it's easier to clip through there. And up here, and you'll notice that the rock duo, the third one comes in cutscene. They're kind of AFK right now. They don't really care. So to activate their AI, just go back to the Stone Gate. This happened to me in a run. Ordinarily, coming back to the Stone Gate like this activates their AI. I lost a run to that once. That's really interesting. I can do this at full speed, I guess. And just go there. Just get back in bounds wherever you like, basically. And now the fight spawns the way it's supposed to. And once they wake up, just start spamming duped bombs. When they group all around you, do a bear, since the bear has the best hitbox. Swing for your life. Maybe toss another bomb if you're here. This fight's kind of RNG. Hit them with the finisher as best you can. With any luck, you'll kill two of them there. That only got one, it looks like. And do the Puma. Yeah, don't do bears at this point, do Pumas. Now, you may think that at the beginning of the fight, oh, there's nothing happening. Why don't we have another rage potion to give us a damage buff? And we did used to do it that way. We didn't pause, so we can just go straight to the next area. The thing is, it was before bomb dupe was discovered, and bombs were not affected by rage potions, and a duped bomb, repeatedly duping bombs will way out DPS anything you can do with your staff. That fight is not cycle-based, so it's strictly a DPS race. Alright, so in this level, you want to do another invis wall clip, say here-ish. Doesn't really matter where you go in. Just you're up here. And this lets you skip killing an enemy and doing a Puma climb to hit a switch to open that. We're just on the other side of it. I have actually not tested this before. I'm going to skip this save point because we had thought that you would have to come and touch this save point as well after doing the Ring of Stones fight to spawn there again, which we want to. I am going to science that right here and right now. So this right here is the one and only Ring of Stones fight in the game that we actually do. And it's because the sea snake transformation is awarded right afterward. Easy for me to say. And perform the fight however you wish. Duping bombs can be faster, but it leaves you vulnerable to enemies. So be smart about it. The bear has a really good hitbox. Don't use the finisher. There is one specific enemy in mind for the finisher. You may want to pull up Sukuruame vision because those mantises can actually turn invisible. It's this jerk right here who eats the finisher. Because it's so awkward to shoot him down. And especially with other enemies in the battlefield, it's so awkward to shoot him down. It's better to simply use the finisher on him. This guy here. Dupe a bomb in his face. I don't think that hit him. Dupe a bomb. And do a Puma. And he's dead. It's the only Ring of Stones fight we actually do. Go to the demigod statue, game saved, warp to the area you're already in. Hey, here's the science moment. Are we going to spawn at the save point? We are not. Okay. So, you've just proven that you actually do want to touch that save point. And actually, we can't get back there from here. So we have to warp away and warp back. That was totally worth testing. Maybe not worth doing on a recording I'm planning to save forever and ever, but whatever, it's fine. So I'll show the proper pathing for the first time you enter the level, since we've just proven you do have to touch that save point. Run up here, do your invis wall clip. You can, of course, and I even did it in the first few runs when I was really bad at the invis wall clip, even though there's really nothing to them. You can, of course, kill the enemy, do the Puma climb, and open the door the normal way. Or throw your spear up. That's what runs used to do. You can still see that in some of the older runs. So, clip through here, and then on your first time in the level, come over here and do save the game. Since we've just proven you need to do this to spawn there. So you spawn there after the Ring of Stones fight, clip back in. We're not doing anything by the waterfall. You might remember a lot of platforming puzzles by the waterfall if you've played this game casually. Nope, we're running past these trees over here. This one's a little hard to explain. You see how I have the camera positioned, how this green landmass comes to kind of a point? That's what you want to aim at. And simply walk outwards. When you do, I'll just do it this far first. You're doing the unsafe ground dance. If you're in this state for 12 seconds, the game will do that. It will automatically take you back to your last safe ground, which, for whatever reason, this game has lots of safe ground in out-of-bounds areas. It's so sick. So, to keep that from happening, count to 10 as you go up this slope, and morph into the bird and immediately back into the human once you hit 10. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't really have a second number in mind when I'm counting there. I'm just used to doing it. And you want to end up there. There's really nothing else I can say to explain that. You just kind of have to see how it's done and get the feel for it yourself. But you end up here. There's another Easter egg up here. I don't know if this gentleman regularly wears an eye patch, or if he just did that day. Some people do. And as you come down the hill here, this area looks pretty familiar if you've played the game casually. Aha! That's the boss, isn't it? So yeah, we never even see the stone gate in this level. Just an invisible clip there, and you're back in business. And you're at the boss fight. Stay at his back right leg. That will make him abundantly more likely, and you can iframe that with a dash. You can iframe everything this guy does. So you remember that from a casual playthrough, but the damage is very specific. 3-hit heavy combo and a duped bomb. Do that for every time he's vulnerable, and it should kill him in 3 cycles. If you kill him in 3 cycles, he won't do his rolling around the arena attack, and that's the absolute slowest thing he can possibly do. You see, by staying at his back right leg, he's much more likely to do the attack I want him to do. 1, 2, 3 heavy hits, and a duped bomb. He should be at 160 HP, and he is. So this is going to work. Now, he might do his explosion attack, but he won't do his rolling attack. The rolling attack is just a waste of time. Yeah, he does this more often than I used to think he did. Yeah, it really doesn't matter if you lose a soul here. You're still going to be fine. The one trolly thing that can happen is that he puts his Vine Fist out of bounds. I'm so, quote-unquote, glad we got an example of that. So, don't worry too much about that. That's really rare, even when you are rolling. Even when you are at the edge of the arena. But if you can, comfortably keep him away from the edge of the arena, you know that won't happen. And he'll be dead here. He's not dead here. What? What? I swear to you that works. I must have missed a hit somewhere. I swear to you that damage pattern is good for a consistent 3 cycle. Watch my latest PB and you'll see it. But if you need 4 cycles, do 4 cycles. Nothing changes. Just stay by his back right leg. I think the bear transformation will even kill him now. Yes, it did. Since we didn't pause, we can go straight ahead to the next level. Now, if you've thought you've seen some skips, hold on to your butts. So run to right about here by the tree, do the sea snake, and push forward. That will, for whatever reason, launch you up here. Rest here a moment to get mana back. Head over here. Now this is really complex. You definitely need full mana here. Line yourself up to where, like you see where the yellow landform there comes to a point. Now what you're going to do is jump off, do the bird transformation at the apex of your jump, then do the puma twice. You can only ever do the puma twice in midair, and then spam bird. By doing that, and it's not blindly mashing spamming it, this is another thing you'll have to get the feel for, but by morphing and demorphing repeatedly, you're able to continually move forward to the platform on the other side here without losing altitude. And that's important. You do not have enough mana to simply fly that far. You would if you upgraded, but we can't do that in a speedrun. This is not a skip I feel all that often anymore, but it definitely took a lot of practice to get this consistent. And before dead. So jump off, bird. 2 pumas. You see how you fall forward a little bit as the human, and then when you turn back into the bird, you gain altitude again, and that's how you end up here. That's the crux of it, is that you can fall a little bit, but still keep going forward when you're the human, and it doesn't cost any mana. It's as if you're flying the whole way without paying the mana cost. There's an invisible wall here, but since when do we care about that? Just puma straight through it. The movements here are a little specific as well. You want to get roughly here-ish by this, like, corner in the level geometry. Sea snake up on top of this mound here. You really need full mana for it. Yeah, that's correct. And then just go straight forward. You don't quite need full mana for this one. I happen to have it. Get back up on top. Yeah, this is correct. Don't need mana at all here. Simply run and jump. I guess if you incidentally use it. You need some mana here, because you can run, jump, and, you know, it's faster to use Puma. Not quite as easy to control, though. And we can't quite hear him yet, but that is the boss right there. If you've played the game, you know how long this level is casually. That's all you have to do to reach the boss. There is another invis wall to clip through. Right there. And again, like, if you've played this game casually, you know that this is an extremely long level. You know, even if you know exactly what you're doing to do this level without that skip, probably takes 10 to 15 minutes. So this guy, he has 12 weak points on his body that light up. They always light up in the same order. That's important. It takes 3 spear tosses to take out a weak point and a crap ton of melee hits. It only takes 2 bomb dupes. The drawback, though, will be once he starts to shake a lot more, the bombs become much harder to aim. And at that point, since you can lock on with the spear, at that point, I do use the spear. The next 2 are on his back. Like I say, they always light up in the exact same order. Next one's back on the ground. You might also do Puma, because it does a lot of damage. And even if the plants on his back left leg don't appear to be there anymore, they still do here. Even if they don't seem like they're there anymore, you can still... It doesn't matter if you pause in this level, actually. You can still climb up his back left leg with the Puma transformation. At least the first time. If you need to do it a second time, you'll have to go up the side of the arena the super slow way. Yeah, the plants disappear from his back right leg first, and then his back left leg. But all the other weak points are on his back, so you should not, unless you screw up, fall off again. Yeah. When we get to the one on his head, that's when I start going to spear tosses. Even though it takes 3 instead of just 2 bomb dupes, you can more easily lock on. What? Yeah, really the way to make sure you don't get bucked off his back when he does that is basically do the bird morph at the apex of your height. And that controls your horizontal placement, and you can fall right back onto the boss. Is this the last one? It is. So for the last one, use your finisher. And that takes it out. And you're good to go to the underworld. Again! So since this is the first time you're here, it is on this save file, there's a couple of skips you can do. And you can see the lights back there are still lit up. So the game thinks we've done the boss rush at the end of this playthrough, even though we obviously haven't. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Okay. Really cool skip you can do here. You know, maybe you wouldn't do it if you fell and you had to wait this long and the flowers are there anyway. But the hitbox for the cutscene that will happen as you walk on the platform up there, the hitbox for that cutscene extends beyond the portion of the level you can actually stand in. You can actually fly into that hitbox. Are you freaking kidding me? It took me that far back to go up on the flowers. That is the best meme ever. See? I wasn't on here, but the hitbox for this cutscene exists past the walkable portion of the platform. And I suck at this skip. I don't know, maybe I should have tried it until I got it, but whatever. I have gotten it several times, just not with any regularity. And I typically come here with either 4 or 5 heal potions. And no corn. I'm just trying to pick the chia. Skip the cutscenes, obviously. And the lights are lit up, so once we go into this Ring of Stones, it's just the final boss. First phase, you want to stay under his right arm and go counterclockwise with the swipies. You'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And at that point, he'll expose his weak point. So it should be right here that he does it. Yep. Do a Puma at his weak point. Nothing you can do will do as much damage as a Puma. This is another cycle-based fight, so he can only take a certain amount of damage in each cycle, and the Puma maxes it out the fastest, by far. Same move here. If you just stay close to him and under like his right armpits, the swipey, and go counterclockwise with them, the swipies will never hit you. That was not a Puma, I don't think. Or maybe it was. Alright, at this point, the fight is really quite heavily RNG. And it's very difficult to avoid getting hit. It's difficult to avoid being hit by everything. It shouldn't be too hard to not die. So whenever he does expose his weak point, oh, come on. How did I miss 3 times? is why I like to have a lot of heals, but here's going to be an example, isn't it? Yes, you need to do the whole... Oh, okay. I was going to say you need to do the whole healing dance to get the effect, but I didn't, and I still got the heal. That's very strange. But if you do get interrupted in your heal, you'll lose the potion, but not get the heal. I guess you only have to do most of it. It's generally speaking the same idea. Go under his right arm and go counterclockwise with him, but it's much harder to do it when there's a lot more stuff happening. And I believe you kill him in 5 cycles? Yes. That was 3. Fireballs spawn adds when they hit the ground. That's not the worst attack he can do. The worst attack is probably his clone attack. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm actually still quite inconsistent at this fight. And actually, Reki will just walk into this black muck and let this happen. I guess that makes it go way faster. Maybe it spawns his weak point faster. Yeah, don't worry about a finisher. You won't use a finisher. Finisher does less damage than a Puma. If you need to, you can use it to dispatch adds. My recommendation would be don't use it at all. Yeah, so let's go straight in again this time. For science! Didn't work the same that time. But honestly, unless you're on your last soul, it's probably worth trying. And this'll kill him. And that would be when time stops. Time stops on the final hit against the boss. And that is the end of your speedrun. Even though it's not quite when you lose control, you still have control for another couple of seconds. We reach this point, and now you have control again for a moment. Or no, I guess you don't, actually. It just looks like you do. You have camera control. This portion is not skippable for whatever reason. And on my channel, I always prefer to watch the credits. There's no requirement to do so for the speedrun leaderboard, of course. And that's Mulaka. Hope this tutorial helps find some new runners.